So you've got this brilliant idea for an app, right? But then you hit that one massive wall, the coding. Well, today we're going to dive into a revolution that is totally changing the game, turning your ideas into real products, even if you have zero professional coding skills.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. You've got that concept, that little game changer that you just know people would love. It's all right there, crystal clear in your head.
But then, reality sinks in. You're not a software engineer. The whole idea of learning something like Python or JavaScript just feels exhausting, like trying to climb Mount Everest. Well, what if I told you that entire mountain is basically disappearing? And that brings us to this idea we're calling Vibecoding. It's really more of a philosophy, a new way to build that's all about your vision, your vibe. Instead of you having to write all this complex code from scratch, you use these super intuitive visual tools and AI assistants to do all the heavy lifting. You're essentially turning your intuition directly into a working app.
So here's the game plan for today. We're going to define what vibe coding really is, and then we'll walk through the exact steps you'd take to build an app. Creating the interface, building its brain, checking out some awesome all-in-one tools, adding some AI superpowers, and then the grand finale, launching it to the world. So really, at its core, vibe coding is a fundamental shift in mindset. It's about creating by describing what you want, by dragging and dropping, not just by typing endless lines of code. It's all powered by this new generation of tools that put you, the creator, first, not the coder. Your journey from just an idea to a real app, it starts right now.
First things first, the interface, or what the pros call the front end. This is everything your users are actually going to see and interact with. All the buttons, the pages, the layout, it's literally the face of your application. And AI is completely changing how these interfaces get built. Just look at this slide. You've got powerful tools like Webflow and Framer that now let you go way beyond just visual design. You can simply tell them what you want. Take a look at Webflow's key feature here. You describe a layout in a text prompt, and poof, it builds it. It's designing at the speed of thought. It's wild.
And this slide shows what's next. Tools that are like a magic bridge between design and code. For instance, if you make a design in a tool like Figma, Locofy can turn it into professional-grade React code, which is just a really popular way to build modern user interfaces. Others take it even further. Anima can turn a simple text prompt into a testable app, and Usered, get this, can turn a napkin sketch into a digital wireframe. It feels like straight-up magic.
Okay, so we've got a beautiful interface, but an app is so much more than just good looks. It needs a brain. That's the backend. It's the engine running behind the scenes, handling all the logic and data that makes your app smart. And here's the main thing to remember. The backend gives your app its memory and its rules. As you can see here, it does things like manage data, so storing user profiles in a database. It runs logic, like processing a payment when somebody clicks buy. And it provides something called an API. Just think of an API as a super secure messenger that lets the pretty front end talk to all that power in the backend. And guess what? You don't need to be a database architect to build one. Looking at this table, if you're a beginner and you want to visually map out your app's logic, Xano is probably your best bet. If you just want a really powerful, prepackaged backend that just works, Supabase is a huge favorite for vibe coders. And if you're building a mobile app that needs instant data updates, Backendless is a fantastic choice.
Now I know what you might be thinking. What if you don't want to piece together a separate front end and a back end? What if you just want to build everything in one integrated place? Well, that is where these all-in-one powerhouses come in. Bubble is the classic, the pioneer in this space. It is the absolute go-to if you're building a complex web app, maybe something like a marketplace or a social network. You can actually start by prompting its AI to generate pages for you, and then you can use its incredibly deep visual editor to fine-tune every single little detail. Okay, this is so cool. Imagine turning a simple Google Sheet into a fully functional app. That's the magic of a tool like Glide. It's perfect for building things like internal tools for your company or simple customer-facing portals. If you can organize data in a spreadsheet, Glide can turn it into a polished, interactive app, complete with AI agents to automate tasks for you. So what about that dream of getting your app in the Apple App Store and on Google Play? This is where a tool like Adalo just completely shines. You build your app one time in its visual editor, and it can be published everywhere, as a native iOS app, an Android app, and a web app. This build once, deploy everywhere idea is just a massive, massive time saver.
So we've seen AI woven into a bunch of these tools already, but some platforms are built from the ground up to be your AI Copilot. They don't just help you build. Sometimes they can build for you or give your app some superhuman intelligence.
Here we see two really different ways AI can be your coding partner. For true beginners, check out Replit AI. You can describe your app idea in plain English, and it will generate a working prototype for you. On the other side, you've got GitHub Copilot. This thing acts like an AI assistant inside a code editor, helping experienced developers work way faster by suggesting code as they type.
And AI isn't just for writing code, it's also for understanding data. These tools are making machine learning accessible to absolutely everyone. With a tool like Lobe, you could train a custom image recognition model, say to identify different types of plants in your garden, just by dragging and dropping images. And for more heavy-duty stuff, a platform like Pelterion lets you visually build these super sophisticated AI models that can understand text or video, all without writing a single line of Python.
Okay, you've built it. The interface is beautiful, the brain is smart, it's supercharged with AI. Now, for the final, most exciting step, sharing it with the world. This is deployment.
You know, in the past, launching an app meant you had to wrestle with servers and all this complex configuration. It was a nightmare. Today, it's often just a single click. As you can see from these examples, modern platforms like Vercel, Railway, and Netlify handle all the hard stuff. You just connect your project, hit deploy, and they automatically build it, host it, and serve it to a global audience. No server management required. It's incredible.
This quote from Vercel just captures the magic perfectly. That term git push might sound technical, but all it really means is that the moment you finalize and save your work, it can be pushed live to the world. All that complicated infrastructure stuff is just automated. It's an unbelievable leap forward for every single creator out there.
And that really brings us to the end. The barrier to entry for creating something new has never, ever been lower. The tools are more powerful, they're more intuitive, and they're more accessible than ever before. The only real limit now is your imagination. So the question isn't if you can build your idea anymore. The question is, what will you build?